Elaine, are you excited for Boo at the Zoo?
Boo! Puh.
Tonight we are doing the Boo at the Zoo Halloween event here at the Bronx Zoo. Elaine is with me.
What's up?
We are very excited, and my mom and my son are in the background somewhere, and my sister and her wife and their daughter are coming as well. The zoo! Red pandas! Up ahead, there are American bison, and we're going to see them. Yeah.
Great accent, Jared. Very American.
At this zoo, you can actually see the animals, unlike when we went to the National Zoo, and you couldn't see the animals.
Shade.
One more. Why did the skeleton run away from the werewolf? Why? Because he had no guts.
Embarrassing.
Ah, come on, that was funny. Oh well.
Those guys can really talk?
So we're just going to give you our thoughts on this event while you get to see some of the highlights in the background. What do you think about the Boo at the Zoo, Elaine?
Well, I went into this with the expectation that it was a light show because your mother kept saying it is in fact a light show. And while there were in fact some lights, predominantly not lights, predominantly stuff other than lights. In fact, pumpkins, painted pumpkins.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, they weren't real pumpkins though, right?
From what I could tell and what I thought as we were walking around and I was talking to you about it were they went to like Michael's and bought all the fake pumpkins in the land and chopped them up and then like glued them back together in funky shapes and then painted on top of them and lit them up so they would look spooky or whatever.
Yeah, because like I never felt any of the decorations, but they look like they were fake pumpkins that were painted and then lit up. But honestly, I mean, that takes a decent amount of work to do all that.
That's true. And especially in the beginning, it was very clear that they were fake when we were going down the aisle with the haystacks and then the pumpkins were arranged on them and then in the like foliage around the zoo. Like, that's fake. That's not a real pumpkin. I thought they were going to be carvings and you're like, they'd have to change them out too often. That's too much work for the Bronx Zoo. They don't have time for that.
That is true. They would have to change them out very often. They did have the one section with the people carving the pumpkins, so that was nice.
That was by far the most impressive part of this whole, I don't know if you want to call it an exhibit or a show.
Experience. Yes.
That. I very much enjoyed watching them carve things and seeing what they had already carved because it was very creative and it was very well done. And I was like, that is what I would like to see. Could you imagine if the zoo was just filled with like pumpkins like that? Like the entire thing, just those gorgeously carved pumpkins.
Yeah, it would have been a lot of work, and it also wouldn't have lasted for very long because pumpkins are not going to last that long. I mean, I guess this event doesn't run that long, so maybe they would have lasted.
They could have used preservatives like they put in all of our food. It would have been fine.
Yeah.
But they were gorgeous. Some of the painted bits were very well done as well. And then there's some parts where I was like, did you look at that before you put it up?
Yeah, in general, I thought it was an interesting concept. It might have been a little pricey for what it was, but I think it was, what, $40 essentially, $38, something like that, for an adult ticket. It was a little pricey for what it was, but I'm glad that most of that money is going to go towards like conservation efforts and stuff because that's primarily what the zoo spends its money on.
I think the other thing I would have liked is to have gone past a few more animal exhibits because I mean we're at the zoo, so I'd like to see animals too if possible, not just pumpkins everywhere, but I'm not really complaining. And then the only other thing is just be prepared for the weather. Jeremy didn't realize how cold it was and was cold the whole night.
Yeah, I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt as you can see in the opening video. I was very cold because it was very cold. But yeah, it would have been nice to have some parts of the zoo open at least.
We saw the bison in the beginning and that was it. And I think this is obviously a family activity. Like you bring your kids there or your family members' kids or whatever. So I think when we're looking at it it's not as enjoyable, let's say for me as Jeremy, as it would be for a child who gets to play the games in the food area and see all the pumpkins. And then there's a section for chalk. And then there's every parent's favorite section, which is, hey, look at these cute little animals and these light up ears. You want those for your kid, right?
Yeah. So I definitely think that the mileage will vary depending on who you are, but I definitely think this is a nice event for kids. Might be a good date night or something if you just want something low key where you can just kind of hang out and look at some pretty stuff. So I'd probably recommend checking it out if it's something that you can work into your budget.
Yeah.
And the rest of the video is just going to be some highlights, and you're going to get to see a little bit of what the place looked like. So sit back and enjoy. And like the video if you like it. Please comment down below. Let us know, have you tried out this experience or anything similar? I know there's a lot of similar experiences in various locations. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of this content going forward, and ring that bell so you know what's up. And we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye, guys.